Ladies and gentlemen, Suds and Sports Social Media is an official affiliate of the WWE Shop. Whether you want merchandise from the original Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, or the Hall of Famers, the New World Order, or from WrestleMania itself, scan the QR code on the screen or go to suds-media.com/wrestling merch, and it gives us a commission to help our show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dockside at the Bay. My name is Vinnie. This is Kim, and welcome to 2025.
Hi,
We
everybody.
took an extended hiatus over the holidays. It was a few weeks just because of my work schedule, and the holidays are crazy in general when it comes to people who are working in different organizations, different career paths. So we ended up taking just a hiatus. But either way, we are back. Today is January 7th, 2025, as we are recording. And this will go to Patreon as soon as we're done recording, but it'll go to our YouTube page and RSS feed tomorrow, the 8th. So if you want to catch it early and ad free, go ahead and join our Patreon, patreon.com/Suds and Square Circle. It's $5 a month, and you get access to everything early and ad free. And who knows what else? Kim, how was your holiday? Holiday extravaganza?
Holidays were good. Holidays were good, Vinny. It was just we kept it low key this year with my family.
Yeah,
In terms of the gifts and in terms of just the company, we all just kind of, it was just immediate family, hanging out, having a few drinks and just celebrating and enjoying ourselves. So, the way it should be.
awesome.
How
That's the
about
best
yourself?
way to have it. Pretty good. I did finally get my Doc F Inside shirt. They are on sale at our merch shop, which is suds-media.com/merch. Or you can go to our just threadless Suds and Square Circle Suds and Square. I think it's Suds and Square Circle, something like that. I'll have to look at it, but it is Suds and Square Circle threadless.com. Either way, um, that's our shop on Threadless, and you can buy our merch there. And also we are an official affiliate of the WWE Shop. Um, Anything you buy using our link, which is suds-media.com/wrestling merch, does give us a commission and helps to support our show and our podcast network. As you know, last night, being Monday, Suds News returned for the after the holidays. We returned. Angela and I went over all of General Hospital. And I was a little distracted, I'll admit, because last night was also the debut of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. So I had that on my laptop on the side. I was watching that while I was streaming Suds. So I apologize if I seemed a little distracted. But either way, um, all in all, we're happy to be back. Take Me Down to Studio City. We'll be back later on this week as well. Angela and I will start season 2. And then Angela Answers Fan Mail. We'll do another episode of that as well. So everything's looking good for 2025 for Suds Media. Um, I am planning on getting down to a Samantha's Friends event. So hopefully my thought process getting down to the September one. Um, but that's my goal. So I'll keep everybody posted.
Well, definitely worth it if you can make the trip and, get down there because, like, as I've said before, just lovely, amazing events, and you get to meet all the stars of the show we're about to dive into here. Which, oh man, this episode, I tell you.
It was International Players episode or part one. And we we're taking on a ride. That's all I got to say. We are taking on a
That sums
ride.
it up. Yeah, that sums it up pretty good. I mean, heck, we start out on, Europe, countryside. We're on a train. We got Tam and we got Tamara and we've got Evan. And it's already setting up for just like this crazy, adventure
Yes.
storyline with the two of them. We've got it where like she's, terrified of obviously, the mission that she's been assigned and she's convinced that like, Evan being there is going to get them killed no matter what, and
Mhm.
it's so just everything involving the briefcase and just the travel and everything. It feels like it doesn't even feel like the Bay almost. It feels like it's just like some separate like spy movie or
It,
something,
it almost feels like a Luke and Laura type of thing from the 80s or a Hope and Bo
Mm.
from the 80s, where it's like
Y-
one of these capers that they're going on to, you know, to just the action sequence and the spy game and everything. So you're right, it does. It just has that different feel to it.
Yeah, yeah, but it's really cool, and it just kind of, and you can see the chemistry too between Tam and Evan. It's
Oh yeah,
already, I just like the bickering and just kind of the like you know but there's like the the whole the mystery of it underneath it all with like the briefcase and what Steve is really up to and everything like that, and Tamara's obviously like terrified for her life, and Evan's just kind of like sucked into it. He was just thinking like, oh, you stole something from me, then comes to find out it's like, oh boy, no, you're in a lot of deep trouble here.
yeah. But it's like, what really what I find funny is that choosing Tamara to be on this case and having Steve choose Tamara is
Mhm.
like she's definitely an overreactor. So she's somebody who's going to whatever Steve says she's going to worry about.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
she thinks that she's going to be killed, or this video is going to be released of her, whatever the video was that she was blackmailed with.
right.
Um, it just uh, she's kind of like just want to do this. I want to go by the book because Steve has this over me, and I can't afford not to go by the book.
Mhm. Mhm. It's almost like you'd feel like a mission like this or something like, that he was trying to, rather than blackmailing someone into it, which is really the only way that you could like, Steve would do it, go about doing anything. But like,
Yeah,
it feels like it'd be more suited for like someone like Orchid, who like could kind of
yeah.
have like a little bit of a game face, a little bit of, just kind of, charm her way through and just kind of know. But then that would be a very different story that we'd be seeing. And it's
Oh,
nice just seeing like Tamara kind of her character kind of, because if you think about like her and Bay the beginning, and then
yep.
like how her character's evolved so much within the past couple of seasons, and now
Mhm.
she's looked like a genuine like main player now, not as much
Oh
just like in
yeah,
the background. So
yeah. No, I love the evolution of her character. I love that we're getting to
hmm
learn more about how she does things, and I'm glad that we get to see her just evolve into a main player as we go forward in this series.
yep, yep.
Um, and I got to say, I love the scenes with John Blackwell,
Oh, me too.
because um, just the way that first of all, the way that him and Evan go back, interact because they're father and son, and because John was not expecting Evan to be there.
Right.
Um, and I love how he kind of John puts Tamara in lead, saying, "Oh, what you gave to him are just copies. I have the
Yep.
originals."
When he says that, it's like everyone breathes a sigh of relief. It's like, he stepped in to save the day, make sure,
Hmm.
and it's just with his character too, that evolution. I mean, you think like you wouldn't expect this character who was so just like gung ho militant about going after Sarah to be the one that ends up keeping her fortune, safe
Yeah,
and away from Steve. You wouldn't really expect that with like, that character's debut, but it tracks, and him just
yeah.
being that kind of like lone wolf pulling strings in the background, making everything happen. I just his scenes were great though. Like
Oh,
when
absolutely.
they
He's my
it's like one of those moments where it's like they're filling in all the gaps, but it's just like
yeah,
so satisfying in the way that they fill in all the gaps, and he just says, "Oh yeah, I covered this. Oh yeah, I handled this. Oh yeah, this is all done," and it's
yeah.
just like they just work their magic in the background, but the way that they just kind of cover all of that, I thought was super cool.
And he's got to be right now one of my favorites. So I know we're years behind in terms of current, but he's definitely one of my favorite soap characters right now.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
because it's like a no nonsense type of guy. He just goes with,
Mhm.
and I love how he says to Evan, "Oh, we're doing this because you arrested the wrong person," and it's
Yep.
like, you're the one that pointed me in that direction.
True, true. But it's like it's kind of funny though because it's like you look at Evan and he was so, I mean, cuz Evan needed to be taken down a little bit of a peg
Oh
too.
yeah, yep,
So but it's just so satisfying to see that all shake out in like, for the heroes. It's like, "Oh, okay, Tamara's going to be John Blackwell's in to save the day. Everything's going to be all right." And it's just, but them having that kind of just, conversation. I love the way that all those scenes just played out. It's just satisfying to watch stuff like that.
it truly is. So we know that the briefcase contains all the deeds to all of the European real estate of the Garrett family. All of Sarah's real estate, and it's
Hmm.
explained to us that when Jensen married Sarah, he coerced her into putting his name as it was like uh, rule of tenancy or something like that.
Yeah, some
Um,
sort of clause
for
in the marriage contract they said
for
that would.
all of these properties, so
Hmm.
he can sell them without her even knowing, and
Yeah.
steal the money.
Whatever lawyer drew up those papers, man. I mean, they were cagey. They knew what they were
Yeah,
doing.
I would
Because
love to see
yeah,
who that lawyer was.
jeez. I mean, and Sarah, it's like, come on, honey. You got like,
Well, I mean,
Queen of Bay City. You got to protect yourself, girl.
I have a feeling it was more blackmail, because that's the only
Yeah.
reason why she and Steve got married in the first place.
Yeah.
You
No, that's
know,
true. That's
it's
true.
not a Luke and Laura type of situation where,
No, no,
even
no,
though
no.
he raped her, they ended up falling in love.
No,
Now it's
not at all.
no, it's a completely different situation. So I have a feeling she was just blackmailed into
Yeah.
signing that kind of contract or whatever.
Yeah. But it's I don't know. I still come back to like when she gets out of prison and everything is in Steve's name. It's like, oh, you really should have been like working somehow
Yeah.
to take him off that stuff. Like, come on. But
Well, I mean, they
yeah,
were
no,
still
it makes
married at that time, so I mean, but yeah,
yeah,
you're
no, that's
right.
true.
After the divorce was finalized, or
Yeah. I don't
whatever,
know.
all
It's
of
just
his.
you'd think that someone would be looking after her best interests in that case. Or at
Well, I
least
mean,
like,
Arthur's still there.
Arthur's still there. That's true. That's true. It's kind of it's interesting with his character because I feel like we're not going to see him like totally fleshed out, but when he pops up, he brings kind of an interesting little thing into the mix. It's like you almost kind of forget. Oh wait, yeah, that's our hero's father, and that's like,
Mhm.
it's just like, but he kind of just he pops up in certain scenarios, and you just kind of like, oh yeah, yeah, hello,
But he's
but
also our villain's father as well,
he's also our
uh,
villain's father as well. Yeah,
because
and
Adam, and it's like I can't get into the Adam character, and I don't
it's
know why it's. I don't know whether it's because it's been recast, but it's just the Adam character is not connecting with me, and I think it's like because in a normal soap opera, when 95% of the time when somebody's recast, it's after months or years. It's
hmm.
not a season, because as we know with
Yeah.
the Bay, they go by season. So Chad
Right.
Duell was Adam in season 2, and it's this other guy who's Adam in season 3. So
Yeah.
it's like I cannot connect to him. I just can't.
Well, his character, I don't know. I know, like, and I'm not, no spoilers, but the way
Well,
that some
Christos
stuff kind
takes
of,
over later on.
yeah, yes, but the trajectory and how everything kind of comes to be with his character is just kind of, it's interesting to see it play out. But I agree,
Yes,
there is like that just kind of disconnect because, Chet, like when he was playing the role, it was just very, we still have like the creepy factor, but it's like a
yeah,
different sort of,
a
you
different
know,
creep factor.
yes, now it's like, I mean, just the way even when he has that scene with he's talking to Sarah on the phone and he's all like, "Oh, hello, mother." It's like
Yes.
that's just like kind of like it's creepy, but it's almost like a cliche kind of creepy. It's like, yeah, you're like the bad seed. Oh, okay.
Well, it's
Like,
like when Chad
I,
Duell portrayed Adam last season in season 2, um, he was more after Pete and after what
right.
Pete's lifestyle was. In
Yeah.
this one, now he's working with Jensen, and he's
Yeah.
after Sarah.
Yeah. But just
So
like, it was a little bit, I don't know, his when he was going after Pete and kind of there was a bit of a layer there or a little it was
yeah,
creepy, but there was something dynamic there and there was something really engaging and I feel like with this it's just a little bit more like, oh, okay, he's just a freak that hates his mother and he's got her locked up in the woods. It's just a little bit like it's not cliche, that's the wrong word, but it's just a little bit not as organic, not as just it doesn't draw you in as much as like his whole kind of when he came on and had that whole axe to
it's
grind against
kind of
Pete.
overused as a trope
Yeah.
in many forms of entertainment, not just soap operas.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what it boils down to.
I mean, isn't it's still it's kind of but, it's like even you got Sarah though, like trying to figure out the mystery kind of happening inside of the house with the whole mug thing and everything like
Yep.
that. And she's just trying to like find her way. But even like the scenes when they were on the phone, and it's just like she's like, "Do you miss me, mother?" And it's like, well,
Mhm.
it's like just let her out, poor Sarah.
And I see Sarah being torn. I mean, at the
Yeah,
very beginning, not necessarily now that she's locked there, but even still, it's like she
yeah,
wants to
because it's her
have
son.
a relationship with this kid, but
Absolutely.
he's making it so hard on her to,
Yeah, he is not making it easy to have the whole bonding thing happen.
and
Even
now
when he's
finding
like
out
tried to,
that, and now
yeah,
putting two and two together that he's working with Jensen,
yeah,
that's going to drive a nail deeper into the coffin.
yeah. I will say though, it does kind of, and I can't help it. When she gets really frustrated and throws the phone and drops the f bomb, I was just thinking like, it took me out of it for a second because I'm like, nope, wait, it's not Kayla, it's Sarah. But Kayla
Right.
should be allowed to let Kayla swear once in a while because I don't know, she's earned that too. It threw me a little bit. I was like, oh
Well,
no, yeah,
I mean, the
watching
fact
the
they're on Peacock, she
right.
can
Come on.
theoretically.
I don't know. I don't know. I appreciated that moment, but I was also just like, yep, that's not Kayla up there.
And the emotions are there. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No,
uh,
she nails it. And just even like her catching up to the whole like, catching on to the whole mystery thing and just, she's like, with the mug thing, we still don't really know how that's all going to be teased out and everything like
yep,
that. There's something, weird, sinister going on there, but her managing to escape the house that supposedly was like sealed shut and the windows were like
yeah,
shatterproof and you know,
it
I don't
was
know how she
weird
managed to squirrel
because,
out of there.
yeah, like, I don't know. I would try to find anything I could, either break a window or break down the door. Like, because
Yeah.
when Adam came back, it's like he walked in the door. It didn't seem like he used the key or anything. Just he
Right.
walked in the door. So it was like, yeah, I know I got to suspend my disbelief a little bit, but that kind of took me
Yeah,
out.
you made it seem like, you were in like she was in a fortress and, no hope of escape. And then,
Yeah,
sure enough, at the very, cliffhanger end of the episode, Adam's all frustrated because she's disappeared. But, he's trying to bring her groceries, trying to be a good son, maybe making some food, whatever. But yeah,
well,
no, it's
I mean,
interesting kind of little scenes that played out there for sure.
going back to what John was saying is that the idea behind it, because I apologize, I made a mistake, was saying that Steve could uh, sell the properties without Sarah's knowledge. John pointed out that the only way he could do that is if Sarah's presumed dead.
Presumed dead.
And
Yep.
Evan pointed
Sure.
out, well, it takes 7 years. She's missing right now, but it takes 7 years. He's like, well, what if Jensen can prove she's dead? And that's where that would come in, because that's why Steve and
Yep.
Adam are working together, so that
Yep.
Adam can take whatever and be like, hey, here's the proof she's dead.
Yeah. Very sinister.
Yep,
Very
very.
sinister.
Um, but Steve is kind of freaking out now because he calls his broker in Europe and the guys in the bathtub saying, "Better get me my deeds now." It's like,
Yeah.
I don't have them yet.
Yeah. Your messenger service, not the most reliable or not as reliable as you thought. Yeah, it's fun seeing Steve when he's like in like panic mode,
Yeah.
just kind of like starts like, spiraling out and just being all just like, well, wait a minute, what? Like, just getting blindsided because, with all his little schemes and everything like that, he lacks, sometimes it's just getting to that finish line. He struggles there. So,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
yeah, and then the even the broker guy, Mr. like lounging around in the tub, Mr. Millionaire, that that was kind of an interesting sort of funny sort of scene.
Yeah, it was. It was like Steve's panicking because he's thinking that the deeds were already delivered, and the guy's like, no, not yet. Your messenger service sucks. And he's just relaxing in the tub with his girlfriend or wife or whatever it is. And it's like,
Yeah,
he doesn't have a care in the world. He doesn't have to spend this money. He's just, unless he already
yeah.
gave Steve a down payment.
He's all like, just you just tell him, just fix it, just take care of
Yeah.
this, like, just come on, do this. So we got to, kind of see how that the whole Belgium saga, it's unfolding more and more. And again, I just come back to it's cool seeing the show kind of in, two different places at once when we got the Belgium stuff going on, but we also have the stuff that's like, the Bay City, the House in the Woods, all of that stuff. It's just kind of nice seeing like it almost feels like it's two different shows, but they merge together so well,
Well, you're right, and it does because to be honest, it's like we're used to soap operas now where they don't have the budget to travel.
Hmm.
But I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, they would
Oh
travel
yeah.
to Europe or to other parts of the country.
Yep. They
When
could do like shoots in like Canada. They could go to like other parts of the country. They could, it's
Yep.
back when, they ruled the airwaves and funded prime time.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So
yeah,
it does.
no, it's cool seeing them have the budget and the capability of just being able to like, go and travel and be able to do stuff like, I mean, for, a soap that's still kind of in like, not underground, but just kind of in that, it's super neat to be able to see that.
It is. It's great because I mean, to be fair, it's like the Bay to me doesn't seem like a soap per se. Like it has the storylines and it has really good, soapy
Hmm.
storylines, but it seems almost like a primetime drama.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it definitely carries. It's not like yeah, it's not the equivalent of like a, Beyond the Gates or something where I'm seeing all these trailers that are just like, set it's like, yeah, this is like vintage soap. This is really really cool. This is
Right.
it's very no, it's very different from that. It has that flavor of like a limited series on like a Netflix or a, something like that.
Yeah, because it's like, thinking about it, the majority of soap operas have at least two to three families, like General
Mhm.
Hospital has the Quartermains, the Spencers, the Cassidines,
Right.
and then you've got Days who has, the Kyriakises and
Yep, and the Brady's and
the
the
Brady,
Portons and the whole yeah.
right? So the Bay they have the Garretts, and then
Yeah.
everybody literally um, orbits around the Garretts,
Yeah.
you know,
But it's also like, it's a 20-minute half hour versus
right?
even a full hour. So maybe they only had the room for the one family to kind of fit
Well,
it
no,
in.
I mean, it makes sense because like
Yeah.
Bold, they have the Foresters, and I think that's about it. Well, no, they
Yeah.
have the Logans, they have the Foresters and the Logans.
True.
But
True.
again,
But yeah. No, I mean we do have like, everyone kind of orbiting around, the Garretts and everything like that. And the whole Belgium arc, I mean, even though it's taking place in it, it's all centered around, Sarah, her fortune, getting that back, getting it away from Steve, everything. So
yep,
but trying to leap back in. So yeah, we kind of have it where though Riley is kind of catching
caught
on
up
to the
and
entire,
everything. Yeah,
becoming at least aware of what's going on and knowing full well that Adam is, up to,
I
he's
don't.
up to some stuff.
I Okay, so maybe you'll have to clue me in. Maybe it's something I missed. But when did Riley and Adam get so close? Was it that day at the beach?
I think so. I think so because I'm trying to, yeah, I think that was the first time they encountered each other.
Yeah.
She's gone into like his office a few times though too. When
Well,
she was
yeah,
trying, yeah, like when she was trying to get representation for Liana,
right.
she was kind of talking with him a little bit too. So they have interacted. But in terms of the closeness, yeah, I think that was just kind of, oh yeah, they've seen each other. Oh yeah, he's
'Cause
kind
it's
of
like,
into her.
yeah, for
Yeah.
someone to go up to her and say, "Hey, if anybody asks, I've been living here for the past, couple of weeks or whatever," and it's like, "What? Wait, what? You guys are that
Yeah.
close?"
Yeah, I don't know. There was kind of a I think it's a little bit more like, for the sake of the plot, just to kind of,
Yeah,
provide a
I get
little,
that. Yeah,
yeah, not so much like it wasn't really the most organic, sort of relationship development to be like, oh yeah, hey, by the way, but it's kind of
and
funny how everyone like kind of reacts to it, like, everyone just like, is like, wait, what are you doing with him? What?
yeah, yep.
Like everyone is just
And then
very skeptical.
Riley's sister, Tandy
Yeah.
Joe,
Yeah.
um, she's kind of in the middle of everything too, because she's kind of being that, person who's always in the way and listen, overhearing something and, you know, trying to ask Riley what's up, and Riley has to immediately think of a lie.
Yeah. she's getting better at thinking on her feet. Riley is. At least she's trying. But Pete sees right through it, which is kind of funny.
Oh
He's
yeah,
just like, no, she's straight up
yeah.
lying.
She's like
Yeah,
she knows
like
something. She knows
yeah,
more than yeah,
yeah. Because I mean, the whole like she's just trying to get to the bottom of this, get all these answers, and just. But even RJ, it was like kind of funny. He's just like, Adam's a real creep, isn't he? Just like the
yeah,
way he says that, just so like everyone knows that, like it's obvious that she's kind of in over her head with this whole thing and just trying to figure out what's going on. And Pete is definitely, his radar is up, and he's just like, yeah, this
yeah,
isn't good. She's straight up lying. There's something going on here. And, I love that Daniel kind of has, become, his like action movie buddy, It's like
yeah.
it's like they're in like a buddy cop movie or something like
Right,
that.
yeah, yeah,
But and I love how like they're on the jet and they're heading to, obviously going to Belgium, and he's all
yep,
like, you know, oh yeah, how long's the flight? I'm just gonna like, throw back some martinis and some caviar, and then Pete just shoots him this look. He's like, no, he's not.
yeah, exactly.
No, he's not. But
Well,
no,
because
I love their
Eric's
dynamic.
because
So
Daniel says this is my first time flying first class. He's like, oh yeah, well enjoy it. Like
yeah.
just nonchalantly, enjoy it.
Yeah, but good. Like I just their dynamic is so great, and just like having like them just kind of being like on this like mission to go and figure out what's going on, and it was just it's fun to see those scenes.
Yeah, very. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah,
Let's
and
see.
heck, even we got a little bit with Sophia too, which
We
is
did.
nice when
And for
she's
those
just.
of you who do watch the Bay Live, they did have a Jackie. Oh God,
Hmm.
why is my mind blanking on it?
Yeah, they did a bit of a tribute
Yeah,
episode.
tribute to what's her last name? I can't think of it.
So,
Um,
oh my goodness, that's gonna bug me now.
yeah. Oh my God, why am I blanking on her last name?
Jackie,
Um,
well, yeah,
Jackie Zeman.
yeah, yeah. For a second, I thought you were talking about the character's last name, and I was like, I can't remember
Well, that no,
Sophia's last name.
that's Sophia Madison. I know
That's
that.
Madison. Madison,
Yeah.
yeah, that was the one I was blanking on.
So they're having a tribute to Sophia slash Jackie
Hmm.
on the Bay season 9, I believe, that's currently out now.
Yeah.
So if you're watching it, it is on Popstar. Um, Whatever they play it on every weekday, I believe 4 p.m. Eastern. So check that out if whatever comes up in the rotation. But
Hmm.
yeah, they do an awesome, a great tribute to Jackie Zeman.
Yeah.
Gregory Martin was, you know, over the moon, saying how great she was and she deserved it. So
Yeah. And it's just I've always liked her character. Her scenes are just she just knows how to like, there's like just even if it's a serious kind of thing talking about like, being worried about Sarah, she just there's like a little just the humor underneath it, just
oh
the
yeah,
skeptical kind of looks and just, like oh, she was so good in this role. And
oh yeah,
it was, just fun seeing her, even though the scene was kind of brief and she was just kind of laying out, hey, you got to go to Belgium. Hey, something going on with the kids and the whole psychic angle and everything like that.
yeah.
But
And
yeah,
and
her
I
just
like
being
how she
totally reading on
and I like
Riley too, and just being like, "What's up
oh
with this?"
yeah, she called Riley out. She's like, you're
Yep,
lying to me. You
yep,
know. No, I enjoy it. And then Riley goes directly to Pete, and then or she goes to Adam and says, what's going on? Like,
mm,
if you know the guy's lying, why are you going to him?
right. Like I appreciate her wanting to like dig in and figure this out and so, but she's going about it in kind of a
Yeah,
little bit of a backwards sort of way.
exactly.
She's doing her best, but at the same time, it's like, no, this isn't going to get you anywhere.
No. But Sophia's been a great help with the
Hmm.
spiritual angle and just the you know
Yep.
uh, um, psychic angle and everything. So
Yeah, and
you
I like
know,
how they kind of lean into that a little bit. It
I do too.
reminds it reminds me of when I was watching All My Children, they always had like Opal as kind of like the
Yeah,
character who was like always like the psychic one who just kind of in the background like new stuff. And it's a fun, thing to kind of explore, or even on days sometimes with oh my gosh, her character, the one with the crazy teeth. Chris.
Oh,
Kristen's sister,
yeah, the one that
DJ's
yeah,
mother.
the one that she played the dual role,
Yes,
DJ's
yes,
mother.
yes. When they lean
Elvis?
in, yeah.
Yeah.
When
I
they
can't
lean
remember
into
her
that
name off
kind
the
of,
top of my head, but
yeah. No, it's just kind of a fun trope that I feel like soaps should like take advantage of more because it's just kind of fun seeing like them be like, the sort of audience surrogate and just kind of like, seeing stuff into the future that the
they did
characters don't
that
know about.
briefly on GH with Olivia after she was injected with LSD from Heather Weber, and you
Oh
know,
my.
yeah, and then she had psychic visions for a while, and
Hmm,
they quickly got
interesting.
away from that.
That's an interesting kind of twist.
Yep.
Oh man. Yeah, soaps are fun for that purpose. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, I'm trying to think. Was there anything that we didn't? I feel like we touched on almost pretty much everything in this episode. It went by
Um.
fast, as they always
Yeah.
do.
Well, Steve turned himself in to the
Oh
to
yeah,
the
yeah,
Bay City
yeah. We
Police
did have that.
Department.
That was at the
Um.
top of the episode. Yeah.
Yeah, he's turned himself in, and I like how, he's like, because Tristan Rogers, oh god, he's got too many characters. Like he's on all three shows that I watch. He's on.
Hey, there are worse actors to have to watch on 3 separate
Lex,
shows.
no, you're right. Um, so Lex is, in there, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. Steve's like, I'm not going to say anything until my lawyer gets here. Good, shut the fuck up and get in the interrogation room.
Yeah, I love his just no patience whatsoever, and he's just, just like, short, sweet to the point. Like, get
But
the fuck
two
out of here. I'm not
two
even.
soap powerhouses like Tristan Rogers and Matthew Ashford, and
Yep,
the dialogue between them is so short. It's just like, fuck
yep.
you, get out of here.
You gotta love it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No, yeah. No, it's just that dynamic too is just, it's fun seeing like, just like you said, two soap powerhouses just kind of getting to bounce off each other and play and
yep,
have, dialogue like that and be able to swear. Heck.
yeah.
Let more
And
soap
then
characters swear.
yeah, no, because they find the car. The car's on the 405. It's abandoned. The purse is there. And they're like, well, she wouldn't go anywhere without her purse and this and that.
Mhm.
And then um, Arthur comes in trying to ask if there's any news, and Lex is like, well, they found the car, blah 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 blah. And then he gets a call from Eddie, and then he's because he asked about John Blackwell. He's the first suspect on the list, and he's like, well, he got a one-way ticket to Belgium, like days ago. So that kind of rules him out.
Yeah. Like it's just yeah, kind of a and that Eddie he's kind of an interesting character too, Mr.
He is.
That other cop. But yeah, no, we've got like, it's just slowly you just kind of start seeing everything just kind of intersecting and everything just kind of, and but they do leave you on like the little cliffhanger with Sarah, obviously, and then we got to figure out what happens to our Belgian folks, and we got to figure out what happens with with Steve. Everything, it
Yeah,
sets up so nice for the what's to come and what's
it
happening.
does. Yeah,
And I think the runtime was what, like 20 minutes, something like that. I mean, I still
very
am always
quick. Yeah,
amazed at how much they can cram in just that brief amount of time, how it just flies
because the
through.
beats are just super quick, and
Yep.
it's like the dialogue is there, and they don't, and it's not like they rush through the dialogue, but the
No,
dialogue
no.
is pointed.
Yep. No, every, it's like it all has, it's not filler. It's not like they're
Yeah,
doing anything to kind of like fill time or fill in gaps or anything like that.
but
It's just like, no, we're going to
think about it.
keep things progressing.
Think about it realistically though. If it was on an actual channel, if it was on an actual network with commercials, they would only get about 18 to 20 minutes anyways. So
True.
it's still about the same. It feels different because there are no commercials when you're watching,
Yeah.
Peacock Premium or whatever, Premium
Yeah.
Plus, excuse me.
Yeah. Watching it on Tubi, you get the little ads, but it's
Yeah,
not too much of a hindrance. I don't
yeah,
know. But
exactly.
yeah, no, no, solid episode though, as always.
Oh yeah. The next episode is International Players Part Two, so it's a continuation, and we're
Hmm.
going to see more. We'll probably see where Pete and Daniel end up, and it's going to be good.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, and yeah, it was fun just kind of going back in and doing a quick little rewatch today, and just kind of, it's like diving back in after the
Absolutely.
little break. It's been fun. Even though I know it's like, relatively what's up, coming and everything like that. Having watched it before, it's still, I still get thrown by the twist and I still get
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh, wait a minute, I forgot about this. So
yeah. Well, it's like my wife and I are doing a rewatch of Fuller House on Netflix, um, and it's the funny part is like I'm going through and I'm seeing all these actors, and I'm like, oh, he's on a soap. He was on a soap. Like one of the kids that plays Joey's kids on that show is one of the characters on GH now.
oh
One of the
wow.
kids on GH. Ava LaRue, who's on GH, was Danny's wife in the pilot episode of Fuller House. So it's like,
Wow, I
you know,
didn't even know that.
yeah,
I was actually watching this one. I just finished it, and it came out a few years back. But it was a show on Amazon called Daisy Jones and the Six, and it was kind of
okay,
like it very good. I highly recommend it. But I noticed the actress who plays Tandy Joe on The Bay was also on Days. She was in it. She's a little, it's been a bit since obviously The Bay was filmed, and obviously since she was on Days. But I recognized her right away. I'm like, wait, oh, that's Tandy Joe. Oh, she's on the
yeah,
beach. Like it's just you just see like these folks and my mom when I was home over the holidays, she's really into Hallmark Channel, and there's
yeah,
definitely a lot of soap opera people that have kind of
oh
made their
yeah,
way over towards that. But it was kind of funny because I just had on GH just kind of in the background one day, and she and I both realized Michael Knight was on as
yeah,
Martin, and my mom was just like, "Oh my gosh, that's Tad with white hair." Oh my
yeah.
gosh, like she totally threw her off guard because he was her fave on All My Children.
Well,
So
he changed his whole appearance. He took a brief hiatus. He was off for a number of months, but before he left, he still had the white hair, but he had like chin straps, beard, and everything, and he had the
mhm.
southern drawl. Everybody called him the Kentucky Colonel. Um, you know, now that he came back, he's like more like Tad. He lost the accent, he
Yeah,
lost the
yeah.
beard.
I noticed the accent was gone because I remember watching a while back, and he did have the full kind of. It sounded like he was trying to channel Dixie from All My Children a little bit with the voice.
Yeah,
But no, it was just so funny. My mom was just like, "Oh my gosh, that's him! I can't believe it!" And then she started like saying like, on Hallmark, there's a lot of the soap actors. Maybe you can. She just wanted me to watch Hallmark movies with her,
well, yeah.
basically. And I said, I'm not quite there yet, Mom. I don't know. How about you start? I'll make you a deal. You start watching The Bay, and then I'll start watching the Hallmark movies.
Yeah. Well, coming up in April, me, Angela, and my mother are going to see Laura Wright, Charles Measure, and
Oh,
Finola Hughes
oh,
um,
nice. Oh, that's
in
awesome.
Stamford, Connecticut. We got the
Very cool.
VIP thing. We're probably what we're thinking about doing is presenting Laura Wright with a Lifetime Achievement Award for
Oh,
soaps for General
that's
Hospital.
awesome. Very
So
cool.
yeah, so
Yeah, I
we're
know there's a few. There's another soap event in April that I've learned about. I want to say it takes place. It's involving I think mostly folks from Days, but I believe that Julie Dove, who we actually got to chat with
on the
on the
podcast.
podcast, I believe she's going to be in attendance and a few others. But yeah, I don't know. I'm exploring, just looking ahead to spring, looking ahead to see if there's
Yeah.
anything cool on deck in terms of the soap opera stuff. Something to look forward to.
Oh yeah. So so just to kind of update everybody, I have been releasing some of the interviews from the podcastathon. I did release the interview. I doubled up and put Kyle Lauder and Eric Nelson together because they did overlap a little bit.
Mhm.
So I put them as one complete interview. But then I also released the interview with Jordi Villasuso. I released the interview with Erin Michelle Soto. And believe that I believe those are the only ones that I was able to because we lost everything after 10 hours, unfortunately.
Ugh,
So it's like we
so
lost
sad.
Adam Huss, we lost Julie Dove, we lost Frank Decopoulos, we lost,
Oh,
Brooke Ann Smith, Jacqueline Grace Lopez. Unfortunately, we did lose all of those because of, you know, my not understanding the fact that YouTube wouldn't save something that long. Um, but
come on, YouTube.
also and also StreamYard only covers the first 10 hours. So next year We're going to make
The
a
more we
couple of
know,
yeah.
the more we know.
Oh yeah, the interview with Alice from Samantha's friends. That's also on there. So those are all up on YouTube and on the podcast feed for Suds News. So check that out. Um, check those out. Next year, what we're going to do is I'm going to do it a little differently. First off, we're going to go um, more likely 3 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern as 24 hours, just because of the West Coast folks. You know, a lot of the actors that we get, you know, Adam Huss, Julie Dove, Jacqueline Grace Lopez, Brooke Ann Smith, a majority, Jordy Villasuso, a majority of them are on the West Coast. So,
Yep.
you know, for us being on the East Coast, it's kind of hard to say, hey, you know, our podcast time is ending at 12 noon. Oh, well, I could go on at 10. Oh, great. Oh, 10 o'clock Pacific. Oh, well, it'd be done. So that, you know, because that's what happened with Jacqueline Grace Lopez is that, you know, she said she'd be able to come on at 10 a.m. Pacific. And I didn't, because I was working so hard and, you know, she was one of my guests that I really wanted. That's why I extended it to 2 p.m. Eastern because I didn't have the heart to say, oh, well, 10 a.m. is too late because we stop at
Yeah.
12 noon Eastern. So that's why that's why I extended it. But with that said, it's just next year we're going to do 3 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to do 3 8-hour sessions. So everything gets saved on StreamYard. You know, we'll cut it 8 hours, reset it, and redo it for another 8 hours, and so on and so forth. So everything will be saved.
Yep. I mean, hey, it was our first time out, you know, and we still managed to, you know, make money for Samantha's friends and still
We
managed to
did.
get a lot of really cool people to chat with. And now we'll know, you know, more, be more prepared. And next one we do will be awesome.
Yes, exactly. And you know, and it's like we'll get that together.
Yep,
So
for sure.
everything should be fine. Um, but yeah, outside of that, I think we pretty much covered this episode.
I think so too.
And we'll be back next week with another episode of Dockside at the
Yes.
Bay. But before we leave, be sure to check out Take Me Down to Studio City. That does come out later on this week. But also, if you want to get everything early and ad free, because we are adding ads into the show. It may not be YouTube ads or you know, podcast ads, but what gives us, you know, like we're affiliates for WWE, so there is an ad for the WWE shop with our affiliate link. We're going to be having a pod page ad because I'm an affiliate for them. So everything that we have affiliations with, ads will be coming up. But if you want to get everything early and ad free, sign up for our Patreon. Patreon.com/Suds and Squared Circle. You get everything we do that's pre-recorded, like Dockside at the Bay or Take Me Down to Studio City. You'll get that um, early and ad free. If you want to just help us out, donate to the show, help the network. Buymeacoffee.com/Suds Media, and you can donate what you want and help us out that way. Every little bit helps because you know we're trying to do more stuff for you to bring you more content, and you know we're trying to do everything here. So help us out. We don't have the ability for the super chats yet because we don't have the subscriber base on YouTube. But you can go ahead and like this episode, subscribe, and get that notification, and you know react to some of the comments. Leave a comment; it helps the algorithm. And then that way we'll be able to help out and get you know super chats enabled after so many more subscribers.
Yep.
With that said, I think we're done for the night. We will
think
be
so
back
too.
next week with another episode. For Kim, I'm Vinnie. We'll see you next week, Dockside at the Bay. Have a
Take
great
care,
night,
everybody.
everybody.